Today on Plotopsy, we have Mary Pauline Lowry, author of the criminally hilarious Last Night Was Killer, which just released today. Let's get started. This book had me rolling at moments. What's one scene that still makes you laugh?
One scene from the book that really makes me laugh when I think about it is when my main character, who is a single mom, is cleaning her kitchen. She has her dishwasher open and her back to the dishwasher, and her dog, little sister, crawls into the dishwasher. Little sister is a pit bull and she gets stuck in the dishwasher. And when my main character is trying to pull little sister out by her rump, little sister's anal glands express all over the kitchen. And when I think about it, it just still gives me a chuckle. And every single thing in this book is made up, except that story was told to me by a friend of mine who also, like my main character, has girl identical twins.
That was such an unfortunate and hysterical moment. Little sister, from the name to the role in the book, just delightful. One thing I think you absolutely nailed was balancing grief and emotional pain with genuinely funny moments in the book. How did you determine where the humor belonged and where it didn't?
So when I wrote this book, I just loaded it up with joke upon joke upon joke upon joke. And then I had to go back and strip out a lot of them so that my jokes weren't stepping on each other. But I really wanted Tilly to have a big character arc where she really changed and grew and got out of the terrible grief rut she was in. And so I think when I loaded it up with jokes and I loaded it up with Tilly's journey, that allowed me to have some more depth too. At least I hope so.
Tilly has become one of my all-time favorite characters because even in her grief, she's a genuinely good mom and she can actually handle a ton, which we see in the book. What aspect of Tilly's personality came to you first?
The first aspect of Tilly's personality that came to me was that she was awkward at her first pole dancing class. And by the end of her first pole dancing class, she was having an amazing time.
Her first pole dancing class was so fun, even for the reader, because of the characters like Selma Hayek, who just make it absolutely a blast. Speaking of the amazing supporting characters, the friendships in the book feel very authentic. What did you want to explore through Tilly's relationship with the Pole Kittens?
Tilly develops really close relationships with the other people in her pole dancing class who are her fellow pole kittens. And I feel like life is really hard sometimes, and having great friends on speed dial just helps.
Definitely, and they're not just great friends, they're also integral to the mystery. Each one of them contributes something meaningful. How did you manage all of those moving pieces?
I am not an organized person in real life. I spend a quarter of my waking days looking for my keys, phone, wallet, or glasses. But I worked really hard to keep this book organized. Once I got rolling, I had a good outline, and then I had amazing help from my genius editor at William Morrow, Danielle Diedrich, who's a puzzle genius, and she really helped me to make sure that every little piece was in the right place.
I know we touched on Tilly's inspiration and her arc, but from the body in the trunk to the pole dancing classes to the friendships, what spark of inspiration can you trace this book back to?
Before I started this novel, I was having a really hard time. Both my parents had died within a year of each other, and I was not bouncing back. And my normal healing modalities were not helping me bounce back the way I wanted them to. And I started taking pole dancing classes, and I was 46 years old. I had zero dance background, and I was out there shaking it on a pole in booty shorts, and that was the thing that cheered me up. And I realized that sometimes you can't think your way into feeling better. You have to shake your ass to feel better. And that was the spark that really got this novel rolling.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your parents, but I'm glad that you found an outlet for all that and it turned into inspiration for a really outstanding book. Now, one person we haven't talked about yet that I absolutely have to bring up is Nate. He seems like a genuinely good guy in a genre filled with morally great characters. What drew you to writing him that way?
My hottest take is that I have no interest in morally gray men. I have an amazing husband, and I want every single one of my friends to have an amazing partner. And I want my main character, who has been through the ringer, to find someone who's going to treat her right, and I want him to be a good man. And it was really fun to write a man that was sexy, goofy, smart, supportive, ridiculous, and who was also on the other side of the law as my main character, Tilly.
That's honestly an awesome hot take because I read all these books with morally gray characters and I love them. And then I'm like, what is this doing to me psychologically? I think his genuine good nature was really unexpected to me, as were a lot of other things in the book. What's something else that readers might not expect when they pick up Last Night Was Killer?
I think when people pick up Last Night Was Killer, they might be expecting a comedy with lots of great slapstick humor, something very feminist, but I don't know they'll be expecting a book that's about found family and how we have to really dig into our community in order to get through grief and really hard times. And it's still fun.
It is definitely that, as well as heartwarming and mysterious and so much more. Thank you so much, Mary, for being here with us today. You wrote one of my favorite books of the year. To you guys, go check out Last Night Was Killer, which just released today. So go grab it. I'll link it in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time for another Plotopsy.